He probably doesn't remember me, but I met our guest in Linden, Texas at the 11th Annual Texas Music Awards when he won Album of the Year for his release, Gypsy Alibi. Yeah. Although he was born in Lubbock, Texas, his interests were more cosmic than cowboy, and they've led him across the world to serve as music ambassador for the U.S. State Department into India, Africa, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East. Wow. These travels were reflected in his CD, Mahatma, Gandhi, and Sitting Bull. This project led to the creation of a multicultural band from Texas and India called Cowboys and Indians. Having three names is usually a clue that one is a serial killer, but Bob toured with the Lost Gonzo Band that included Jerry Jeff Walker, Michael Martin Murphey, Ray Wylie Hubbard, and their record was named by Rolling Stone as one of the best albums to ever come out of Austin. Say, Bob, what's your middle name?
Lynn.
Please welcome Bob Lynn Livingston.
Thank you, TC. Yeah, I don't like to talk about tax dollars so early in the program. But like TC said, I got this job with the State Department and we toured all over. And of all the countries that I went to, India was the furthest out. And we got to play with musicians on their indigenous instruments. And we call this music country and eastern music. So we're going to bring a little bit of that, or rockabilly is another word. So came back to Austin, loved the sounds I got there, and I wanted to figure out how to duplicate that sound. So I found some musicians from India there in Austin. They also work for Dell, but these guys, geniuses, and it's called Cowboys and Indians. And this is a musical that one of your Houston compadres, Bobby Bridger, and I wrote. That's your part. Let's try to sing it. Some cowboys and Indians came riding across the sands of a blood-red painted desert. Lone equestrians. Sometimes red is black and black is white. Mortal colors vanish from your sight. Not the cowboys and Indians. Visionary drifters on a timeless caravan, sticking close together when things get out of hand, sharing an unspoken word that each and every one of us has heard. The Cowboys and Indians. Here's your part. Sacred, almost holy, they were here before me, and carry on through the lost horizon, went into disguise and carried on. never without focus, always on a sacred trail. And it's absolutely guaranteed that steps will never fail. Oh, the wheel is turning, even standing still. And the wisest men know never to reveal. Cowboys and Indians, Cowboys and Indians. Yeah! Here's your part. I'm from Lubbock, Texas. And I went to Lubbock High School.
Yeah. That's a good high school.
And I had Miss Honey for English. I bet you didn't have her. She was long gone. She was an elderly woman, and I don't know, she was trying to teach us stuff. I don't know if you ever tried to wrap your mind around the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. Not very easy to do. And I kept thinking, what's going on here? Why is this woman trying to teach a bunch of cowboys from Lubbock all this esoteric stuff? And who knows, maybe you'd use it later on. And but when I found out the big revelation that I had, are you allowed to say revelation? Epiphany. Hallelujah. Let's just get it over with. Hallelujah.
Say what?
I found out that at the beginning of her career, she taught Buddy Holly senior English. Wow. And all the desks were bolted to the ground. I got a chance to, I found out where he sat. I sat at Buddy Holly's desk. And I kept thinking that he would come to me, and give me some insight into what Miss Honey was trying to teach. And sure enough, I channeled Buddy Holly. And he did. He came to me and he gave me all this insight in some of this English literature stuff. But really, the best piece of advice he gave me was to get out of Lubbock, which I did. And I took off for Lubbock, took off for the Wild West, and I made it as far as Red River, New Mexico, where I fell in with this group that was playing in this little town called Three Faces West. And you had Rick Fowler, Wayne Kidd, and this wise ass named Ray Hubbard.
Yeah.
You know him as Ray Wylie Hubbard. So we became friends. They were playing songs by people I'd never heard before. And the songs that really struck me were the songs by this guy, Mike Murphey. You know him as Michael Martin Murphey. Well, I learned some of Murphy's songs. I headed out west. I went got as far as Los Angeles, where I got this record deal. And they gave me just enough money, Bradley, I'm just making sure you're paying attention. You never heard this before.
Morning?
It was morning, yeah.
It's morning now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And it was one morning, they gave me just enough money to buy a Datsun pickup truck and a Martin guitar. And one early morning, just like this, on this dusty dirt road in the middle of Los Angeles, the hand of fate, I'm sorry I have to say it, the hand of fate just came out and steered my little Datsun over the side of the road where there was this hitchhiker waiting for me. And I never stopped for hitchhikers before, never. But for some reason I did, and it's the reason I'm standing here right now, because if I hadn't, I don't know what would have happened. Because the guy jumped in, we traded each other our life stories. Mine lasted about 2 blocks. Not much had happened to me, but this guy was from Austria. He worked on foreign cars. He was an interesting dude, and after we're talking for a while, he suddenly turns to me and says, The only other Texan I know is from Dallas. He's a musician too. His name is Mike Murphey. Well, that guy became the governor of California. But we won't go there. And I just said, if you ever see Murphy again, give him a name and number. Murphy called me that night. Who would think that a mechanic would actually, you know, get in touch with his client like that? Murphy called me. Who are you? What are you doing? Why am I supposed to be calling you? He said, and I said, well, look, I met Three Faces West. I met your friends, and they were playing the songs, and I think it's just about as good as anything since the Beatles. And he said, you know what? You're a genius. We need to meet. So we did. We became fast friends, and this is 1970. And we became friends, and my record deal fell through, and so did Murphy's. We decided there was only one thing to do, and that was get back to Texas where we once belonged. So we got on I-10, heading east. 2.5 sunrises later, my little Datsun blew a head gasket in Van Horn, Texas. I don't know if anybody been to Van Horn. It's the world's largest truck stop, just full of millions and millions of gallons of diesel and coffee, all mixed together. Surly waitresses, suspect cooks. You know, they serve diesel fried steak every Saturday night. It's not bad, but over there in the corner, I can see him now. There was the town iconoclast was sitting there watching a sunrise, and across the table from him was a young boy. He was kind of forlorn, had a faraway look in his eye, looked lonely. Had an old suitcase held together with baling wire and duct tape. He was looking for his lady love. Don't know where she went. And he was telling a story to old Cactus Jack. Right in the middle of the 10-cent scenery, shuffled and stacked on a postcard rack, there's a cute little kid on a shelling pony. She smiles at me and I can't smile back. Cactus Jack, he drinks coffee black. He tells me it's my lucky day. 5 o'clock in a Texas morning, I come a long, long way. 5 o'clock in a Texas morning, I come a long, long way. Well, now she left me cold on a winter's morning, and cold it's been for the longest time. She told me Texas was where she was going, and I've been looking, but she's so hard to find. And Cactus Jack, he drinks coffee black. Look at him, he tells me it's my lucky day. 5 o'clock in a Texas morning, I come a long, long way. Yeah. 5 o'clock in a Texas morning, I come a long, long way. I'm gonna find her, maybe the soldier with the suitcase on. She just said she was going down to Texas for a little while. Well, I'm looking for the girl with long brown hair, and she's got hazel eyes, and she's not too pretty, but she's got a beautiful smile. She just said that she was going down to Texas for a little while. That's what she said. Well, now the cook in the back, he's getting mighty curious, and he asks the waitress where I'm from. And she just says, well, hell, I ain't never seen him before. He's probably some sort of spaced out California bum on his way down I-10 past San Antonio into Houston, and he's going to get on that Beltway 8. And he's not going to have enough change. He's going to hold the whole thing. Everybody's going to be cussing at him. He's going to get real stressed out. Somewhere, somehow, he's going to wind up at this place, and it's going to be the wrong place because they changed the address. Then he's going to get over there finally, thinking he's late, but he's not. Doesn't look like. There's a place called the Houston Oasis where they talk about all kinds of interesting subjects. He wants to see what it's all about. And I heard they have really good coffee, and they have several coffee breaks, keep people awake, and it just sounds kind of cosmic and weird and, you know, kind of a revelation. And, you know, I really wish I was going with those boys. And Cactus Jaggy says, that's right. As I walk out into the light, 5 o'clock in a Texas morning, I got a long, long ride. Yeah. 5 o'clock in a Texas morning, I got a long, long ride. Oh, outside, the sun is coming up, and the wind blows me just like a paper cup, a Dixie cup, down the highway. Yeah, down the highway. Come on, Bradley, let's get on out to Houston Oasis now. In a Texas morning, and I got a long, long, long ride. Oh yeah, my name is Bob Livingston. I came all the way from Austin, Texas just to be here. Thank you all for having me. And we got Bradley Kopp on the guitar. And I was just thinking that, you know, Sitting Bull, when he defeated the United States Cavalry at the Battle of Little Bighorn, he was a medicine man. He was a shaman. He was a spiritual man. Better be careful. But actually, what he did with it is he went into show business. And he joined Buffalo Bill's Wild West. And if you've ever seen those old newsreels of Buffalo Bill, and they're Maasai warriors and Zulu tribesmen and mounted riders from everywhere, Hussins and Cossacks, Vaqueros, Native American Cowboys and Indians out to kazoo, trick ropers, snake charmers, Annie Oakley, Wild Bill Hickok, Wylie, they had it all. And Buffalo Bill riding in front of the whole thing. And so at some point they go to England, and Queen Victoria was no different than anyone else. She wanted to get next to Buffalo Bill in the worst way, maybe the best way. And so she had a command performance, and when this multicultural extravaganza with American flags waving and Star Spangled Banner being played, which incidentally Buffalo Bill actually discovered that song and used it in his grand entry, and it went into the American lexicon, all because of Buffalo Bill. She stood up and saluted the American flag, the first time in history a British monarch had ever done it. And so now only I will ask you for your suspension of disbelief. Because sitting in the box with her was Mahatma Gandhi. And she thought, what would it be like to have these two Indians to my place? The Indian of the West, Sitting Bull, who sometime resorted to violence when his back was to the wall. And the Indian of the East, Gandhi, who turned the other cheek and defeated the entire British Empire. But now Mahatma Gandhi and Sitting Bull were lying in the sun-rimmed swimming pool, talking about breaking all the rules. Listen to the radio, KPFT. The Mahatma winked and he flashed a grin. He said, the Wild East is where I've been. If you've seen it once, you gotta see it again. You gotta see the Himalayan snow. Sitting Bull, he said, Gandhiji, it's the Great Plains for me. Chasing buffalo and living free, and watching all my children grow. Well, Gandhi pulled his weaver's thread and he spun some yarns. Then he said, no need for the Tibetan Book of the Dead to know which way the spirit grows. That's what he said. Tabernacle Choir, which has happened to be standing on the street corner when it all went by. And here's really the moral to the story, our story. West is east and east is west. We're only one planet and that's the test. We're just passing through, we got no address. Awakening what we don't know every day. Yeah, Sitting Bull and Gandhi too, they share a pipe with me and you. They both knew how to break the rules and listen to the river flow. And listen to the river flow. Very much. I was talking to TC earlier, and she told me that in 1953, Bob Wills and his West Texas Playboys came here to the Houston Oasis. It was no different, and played some of the wildest Texas swing, atheistic music that they had ever heard before. You know, humanist music. And then you say that. Now she says further back. You're right. 1927. I forgot. Lucius Allen and his Cosmic Pharaohs come to the Houston Oasis, and that was when the beat was young. They played pharaohic music. That was when the. What'd you say? So further back? All right. What? 150 years before this building was even here. 150 years. How about 200? Anybody? 200? We got 200 right here. How about 300? 350, 300. We got 350 over here. 350, 500. Anybody? There's 1,000. That's what I'm talking about. 1,000. Hey, don't touch your nose in front of me, ma'am. That's 10 million years ago when the beat was young. Ooh, Brad, let's just cut to the chase. Let's just go there. 14,978,000,000 years to go. Back at the Big Bang when there was only consciousness. And in a nanosecond, worlds were thrown like so many Jackson Pollock paintings on the fabric of time and space. And one world rose to the surface, the blue pearl, Mother Earth. And before long, there was volcanoes going off. Volcanoes going off. And thunder and lightning crashing. Thunder and lightning crashing and volcanoes going off. It was chaotic. And in just a little bit more time, here come a pterodactyl. Followed by a saber-toothed tiger. Being hunted by one of those Cro-Magnon looking dudes. And later that night, he knows he's going to be sitting around a campfire. As a matter of fact, he was sitting around a campfire later that night with a saber-toothed tiger haunch held high over his head, and he knew he'd be bringing it home for his baby. So there's only one thing he could do about it. He was crowing. And there was ancient man beating on sticks and rocks, sending out a rhythm in around the clock. Oh, beat takes over, busting loose, trying to hold back just wasn't no use. Cats around feeling they got stung. Way back in history when the beat was young. Big Chief says to sing and dance, smoke piece of pipe and make romance now. Beat takes over, things get to jumping, snatching something from the jaws of nothing. They were kicking evolution up another rung. Back in history when the beat was young. And when the beat is young, you have everything under the sun. When the beat is young, we'll all come together as one. When the beat is young. Some of that secular guitar, Brent. So a little time passed, and it got to the Middle Ages, and then the Dark Ages. And brothers and sisters, if you had anything at all to do with the beat in the Dark Ages, well, they likely as not put you on the rack and pull your fingernails out, you know, because the beat made your toes tap, and made your body move uncontrollably, and more than anything else, it made girls want to dance. And the Catholic Church didn't like it one bit. drummers had a hard time during the Inquisition. It's a little known fact. And so they decided to save all these beat heathens. And they built these churches, rooms kind of like this, really tall, high ceilings, stained glass window, bathing in ethereal light, flying buttresses everywhere. There was so much incense going off, you couldn't even see the ceiling. You thought you were in the clouds. And the architects designed it for the Enlightenment, you know? And there were these guys up on stage, these monks with long brown robes and shiny bald heads, and they were singing something like this. E Kyrie eleison, E Kyrie eleison. Nobody knew what it meant, you know. It was in Latin. How many times have you had a musician come up and sing Gregorian chants in your service? Well, you finally had it. Anyway, but a little peasant in medieval England or France, he just didn't live across the street from the church or the cathedral. No, he may live 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 150, 250 miles away. He may have to pack for months to go on this pilgrimage. He'd come back with a completely different family, you know? So he marched all day and he marched all night. Marched all day and he marched all night. Marched all day and he marched all night. He marched all day and he marched all night. And he fell into these little taverns that were conveniently located in front of the double doors of the cathedral, and he drank mead. Has anybody ever had any mead? You know what it is? Fermented honey. It's nasty stuff. But it gets you there, you know? And then he would go on to the cathedral and he'd be saved on the spot. And the Catholic authorities thought, this is really working out really good. We're doing some good saving these people from the beat. But we need a chronicler. We need someone to tell the story. So maybe in 100, 150, 200 years, 500, 1,000, 10,000 years from now, that's all they could really imagine. Maybe they couldn't even imagine the next day. I don't know. But they needed a chronicler. So they went down to Cambridge, England, in the red light district, down where all the musicians and poets hung out, poor as church mice. And they found this one poet. His name was Geoffrey Chaucer. And they asked him if he would go on one more pilgrimage to the most beautiful cathedral of all, Canterbury Cathedral, and write about it. He said, how much are you gonna pay me? So he marched all day and he marched all night. Marched all day and he marched all night. Marched all day and he marched all night. And he fell into the taverns that were conveniently located in front of the double doors of the cathedral. And he drank mead until he was silly. He fell in with everyone else and he wrote down everything that he saw and he heard. And this, brothers and sisters of the Houston Oasis, is what Buddy Holly revealed to me all those years ago in Miss Honey's English class. And I'm going to attempt to be the first guy at your service, or whatever you call it, the first guy to do a little Middle English rap for you right here and now. And this is the prologue to the Canterbury Tales. And if you had a Miss Honey in your life, I want you to try to sing along with me, because it goes like this. Yeah, it goes like this, and it goes like this. This is really going to happen sometime. Here we go. One that the brilly with the sure soda, the truth the march has passed to the road, and by the day pain is swishly cool, of which virtue gentle there's a flow, and sever a second with the sweat of breath, spirit half and they be hot and heft, the tender croppers and the youngest son, half in the rami cause they're on it. Smiley follows Michael Melody that's sleeping up a date with open ear, so prick them children, here rises that long on foot to go on pilgrimizes and promise for the sake of stranded stormers and Sunday cool and Sunday long day. Sunday cool and Sunday long day. Yo! It's still the den that sees another day, the slithered fabric as they lay, ready to win on the pilgrimage in Port Canterbury with food that caresses by the gentle Hosteria was the best hotel I ever see it. Now the beat is spread all around the world. what's her favorite boy and girl. Taking around the beat can be really fun. Kick it, Bradley. And the beat can make you work when there's work to be done. Oh, even today when certain songs are sung. Now we thank God Almighty that the beat is young. Yeah, when the beat is young, you have everything under the sun. When the beat is young, we'll all come together as one. We all come together as one here at the Houston Oasis. Thank you so much for having us here. Thank you, TC. Hope we can come back. I love the message you had today. About labels and axioms and stuff. We got Bradley Kopp on the guitar. My name is Bob Livingston. We do have CDs for sale. They're regularly $80, but $65 off just for you. When the beat is young.